Hello, so I realized that I kind of look mangy as hell, but that's because after I do this video, I'm gonna look kind of crazy and I'm gonna hop in the shower, maybe after editing it. So literally I have no makeup on except a little bit of mascara left from this morning because I went to the farmer's market and I had a nap, but I digress. You don't care about that. So what I am talking about today is eyeshadow bases and what eyeshadow bases to wear with what types of eyeshadow. If you already know this, you're gonna be like, that's a really simple concept, Kim. You could have just thrown that little tidbit in a video that you're already watching. But if you're specifically looking for this information or you don't know, you're gonna be like, wow, that's so smart. So first things first to talk about is eyeshadow primers. They're great. They stop your eyes from creasing. They don't do anything to color correct. I have two different versions. I have the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and then I have the Lorac Behind the Seas Eye Primer. To me, both work really, really well. I plan on doing a smackdown between these two, but I'm worried it's gonna be one of those smackdowns that you're like, what's the difference? It looks the same. Tie, boring to watch. So, they are basically just, I don't know, sometimes they're silicone-y. The Urban Decay one is kind of a nude color. And you just put, that could even be too much, a tiny bit on your eye, and that one has a little bit of a silicone-y feel to it. And then the Lorac one has separated a little bit. It's more of a white base. These don't really color correct. This one apparently needs a little love. They basically just stop your eyeshadows from creasing. I use these every single day under every single eyeshadow, and I even use them underneath my neck spaces. Now my neck spaces, you can of course always buy a base that matches your eyeshadow perfectly. You would need a lot of bases to cover my eyeshadow collection, or I would. So that's not an option. So I have three choices. I have a skin colored one. This is Painterly Paint Pot by MAC. And I got this one. You can also, it just looks like that, like super skin colored. You can also get Soft Ochre is a good choice if your skin pulls more yellow or has more yellow tones. Obviously, I'm a very pink toned person. And then I have two NYX Jumbo pencils. These are drugstore, they're holy grail. Everybody and their brother loves them. And they're literally just, I have one in milk, and it's just a white base. And then I have one in black bean, and it's literally just a black base. Also for these, you could use a gel eyeliner underneath, but I find that these are a little bit more comfortable. I have to put primer underneath these because these crease. The MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which I'm sure they make a black one and a white one. I've never looked because these are like 20 something, and these are, I think I got these for $4.99 on sale. So the milk is hard to find. So if you're looking and you're like, maybe I should get it, and it's there, pick it up because it sells out hella fast. Now, you cannot use all three of these for the same thing. They all do different things. The Painterly Paint Pot tones your eyelid. It will take away, now I don't have a very veiny eyelid or with a lot of discoloration, but if you do, it will even that out and give you an even canvas. And it will give you a really true color. So you can pretty much put any color eyeshadow. So let's grab a few different options. We'll have gold, black, blue, and like a creamy white. So those are the colors I'm gonna put over top of my Painterly Paint Pot. So like it just goes true to color. So they all look very true to color. Oh, I should have had, oh, here are my whiteys. So you can use that as a base for anything, just to smooth out your eyes. I like it as an eyeshadow base. I do find it makes them a little bit, tiny bit richer looking than just on my natural eye. I just think it's a better base to stick to than just the primer. And I find that eyeshadow glides really smoothly over top of it. Okay, so now on to the difference between white and black primers. And I'm gonna do what colors I would use the white primer for on one eye and the black on the other eye, which is why I'm gonna look crazy. So these you just kind of smudge over top of your eyelid. You can do it just in the center. This you can also use, it's great for your waterline. So like, makes a really white waterline. And then I just take a flat shader brush, like a really thin one, and just to smooth that out. It doesn't have to be like super opaque, but the type of colors you're gonna use for this is your neons, your really, really bright colors, stuff that you really want to stand out. And this is gonna make a color brighter. So I had trouble finding neons, and then I remember that I had this e.l.f. palette. So if I show you on the back of my hand, let's make a way bigger square. No, fail. I need a smaller square because you want to see the difference. Mostly you want to watch my face while I draw on the back of my hand, don't you? Okay, so we're gonna make a white square, and we're gonna take a hella neon color, like something we want to be really, really bright, like maybe one of these greens, because greens are always hard to work with. So there's the green on my finger. There it is on its own. And there it is on top of white. So can you see how it's brighter? It just makes it pop a little bit more, makes it stand out a little bit more neon. A good example of what I would use a white base for is this Noise color, this really fluorescent pink by Urban Decay. And what I like to use with my neons is these kind of flatter, fluffier shader brushes. But look how bright that color goes on. So I find you don't have to use as much eyeshadow to get the color that you want to build up to it. So anything in the neon family, anything you want to be brighter. You can also use the same color all over your lid and put just a little bit of the white on the inside portion of your lid just to make that side a little bit more three-dimensional. But look how bright that is. So you use white bases underneath your neons, your brights. It looks really pretty underneath golds. Okay, so hello. Like it just looks brighter. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but in real life, it just looks a little bit brighter, it looks richer in a different way than the next one's gonna look rich. So this is black. And we're gonna draw a square, and when you use black is when you're gonna wanna really deepen up a tone, give it more depth, make it look, so like jewel tones, like this blue here. You could even use, I'm throwing things, like this blue here, you could put on, this is actually a great example of how I'm gonna show the difference with this, of how it looks on either black or white. I got something in this eye. So I would use, again, a flat shader brush. My other favorite is a pointed, fluffier pencil brush for these type of colors, just because it really packs on the color. Oh, I didn't actually put, so let me, again, put that on the back of my hand, the two colors. So there's those. There it is on top of black, and there it is on its own. Can you see how much richer that is? It just looks better. So again, same thing. You just kind of sloppily, and try not to tug too much. So I do short little strokes because these are a sticky product, and that's what makes them so awesome. And again, that's why I did the white first. And it doesn't have to be super black. It just needs to be on there, and you can spread it out and smooth out all your harsh lines. I would start when you're doing this with regular eyeshadow, I would do your transition color before you do this, and then just touch up your transition color after. So then you just take your brush and that deep color. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows. It's Welcome in the Bon Voyage 2, is this 2? Volume 2 palette by The Balm. It's just a stunning eyeshadow. I didn't really get close enough to the lash line, but you can always go back in and whatever. So look how like rich and deep that looks, and you actually can see right and get to the lash line how it's not as dark. So I would go back over that spot with my black bean. Spread it out again so it's not all chunky. Normally it would be much closer to a mirror, but for demonstration purposes. So look how rich and deep and jewel tony, and you can really see the depth of the sparkles and the fallout underneath my eyes of this color. This color is definitely a before your foundation, not an after your foundation. That's the difference, how bright this is, how deep this is. Now a color like, I am dropping everything today. Now color like that blue, you could use either one of the things. And I'm kind of tempted to draw it on my forehead just because that went over so well with the eyebrow stencil. But so I drawn a white square and a black square on my hand. And I'm gonna take this electric blue that's called Chaos. It is one of those colors I'm like, that's the best color ever. I'm gonna use it once. And I'm gonna put it over top of the squares and I'll show you the difference. Because I didn't blend them out, you can kind of see them. But so there's the same eyeshadow, one over top of white, look how bright that is, and one over top of black, look how deep that is. So that's a color you could use on either or, depending on what you're looking for. This you get a really, really bright cobalt blue, leaning towards neon. Now, because I didn't blend it out, you can see the white in my wrinkles. And then this one you're getting a deep navy blue. So depending on what you're looking for. And then to get the true color, you could just put a little dash of a nude color base and dab that over top. So let's see if there's a big difference there. So that one's not as bright as this one. So that's over the painterly, that's over black, and that's over white. So that's, hopefully this all washes off because otherwise I'm gonna look cray-cray tonight. So that's the difference, and that's how to use eyeshadow bases and which ones to use when, and it's kind of important knowledge if you're really wanting to do looks that stand out and have dimension and depth for them. I mean, you can never ever go wrong with a nude base to neutralize all the different issues in your eyelids like veins or redness or broken blood vessels. You can never go wrong with this choice, but I really do think having the white and the black on hand, oh crap, it's all over my pants now, is great, especially when these are so cheap. Do be careful, the lids break easily, but these are so cheap. Next, I would be over the moon if you would make a flesh toned color one of these. It would be great for the waterline because these do work. Like you can put the black, well, that's the white. You can use this black in your waterline and it shows up really nicely. See? So if you made a flesh tone one, that would be a really good idea, but you're probably not going to watch this video. I hope you guys learned something cool today and that you don't think I look too crazy like this. I'm going to hold these up because I'll use this as my screenshot. Yay! So I hope, like I said, I hope you learned something today and that you try this. Try different bases with your different eyeshadows and see what they do and see how you can change them and how you can use them. And a color that you're like, oh, that one looks a little bit patchy or doesn't show up as bright or as nice as I would like it to. Maybe it just needs a really good base, like a white base or a black base, for you to really like that color and appreciate it and use what's in your collection as opposed to hunting to buy something new. I know like this blue on its own is really patchy. It's really patchy and it's not that great, but when you put it over top of black, it's stunning and sparkly and deep and sultry and all the things that I want out of a smoky eye, even though I'm kind of goofy and ridiculous. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.